You know, a while back I did a video of me trying to install a grip plug in a Gen 4 Glock. Well, it didn't go so well. In fact, it left most people thinking, oh, look at that poor little mentally deficient guy trying to put a grip plug in his Glock. Well, I'm going to make this video tonight to show it wasn't me, it was the product. It was a crappy product, because I got a better one now. I've got the Glockmeister grip plug that I'm going to put in here. And I didn't buy this before because, you know, his shipping is kind of high. And it took me about a year and a half to figure out that I can just buy it off of Amazon and get it with no shipping. So I did that. And I'm going to put that in tonight. And then after I put it in, we'll discuss grip plugs in general and whether they're a good idea or not. Okay, here's the little plug itself, and I'm going to put it in, and this time I guarantee you there's going to be a whole lot less hammering, drilling, swearing, and general tomfoolery, because this should just go right in. Ta-da, it's in there, went right in, and that's how they should go in. That last one was just a horrible product. Even looks good from the back there, a really nice looking product. I think this will serve me very well. I like the looks of it. Now let's talk about the grip plugs in general and if they're a good idea. Now a lot of people will tell you don't put grip plugs in here because this opening is so that debris and gases can escape when you're firing the gun. Well, that's garbage. That is not true. The little tiny hole at the top of the channel is not big enough for that to happen. If you notice, there's a lot less resistance around the slide, the back, etc. Gases and fluids, when they're under pressure, they seek the path of least resistance. Air and everything else is going to shoot out the sides of this Glock, out the chamber of this Glock, out the back of this Glock, everywhere else before any noticeable amount of it is forced out that little tiny hole. That's just not going to happen. It's not the way physics work. Anything that goes out that hole is going to be minimal and it's not going to affect the function of your gun. Now, people will also say if you submerge your gun, that little hole will allow water to drain. Well, yeah, it would. It would allow water to drain slowly. But if you came out of the water and you fired your gun, more water is still going to go out the sides, out the front, out the back, etc. than it is going to go out that little hole. Because like I said, under pressure, it's going to seek the path of least resistance. So there's not going to be a lot going out that hole that way either. Now, if you completely submerge your gun and you come up out of the water and then you hold your gun in the ready position and you don't fire the gun, yeah, then some water would be allowed to drain out of there. And if you had the grip plug in, it would fill up the back of your grip. And you're saying, well, what would happen then if the back of the grip filled up with water? Well, that's easy. Your gun would be slightly heavier. It would not affect how your gun functioned once again. As soon as you fired the gun, any excess water up in here is going to go out the sides and back. So if you do come out of the water, I guess if you held your gun in a down position, you can allow the water to flow out. It would flow out faster, much faster that way than it would if you let it drip out this little tiny hole at the top of this grip frame. So if you come out of the water, turn your gun upside down. Or better yet, don't submerge your gun. That'd be my choice. Just don't submerge my gun. But if you have to, don't come out and just hold your gun at the ready position. If you're not going to fire it, hold it barrel down. It'll drain. Now, a lot of people will say, okay, was there a positive side to putting these in? Yeah, they look good. Now, a lot of people say it makes the grip more rigid, etc., blah, blah, blah. I don't know about any of that. I just think it looks better. I think it makes the gun look more finished. That's why I put them in. So in the end, they're not going to hurt the way your gun functions. They're not going to hurt anything about that at all. And like I said, except for maybe make it slightly heavier if it fills with water. But, you know, what's the likelihood of that happening? But it's not going to do really any good for you either. So I don't say go out and put one in because you got to. It's just a choice. If you choose to put one in, put one in if you think it looks good or you like the way it feels, etc. If you don't want to put one in, don't put one in. It's just totally and completely up to you. The only right or wrong about it is no, that little tiny hole is not a design feature to allow the gun to be functional. It is just part of the molding process. That is why it's there. It's not anything that is necessary. There's nothing even down in this part of the gun that would be affected if there was fluid in it. It's just a big chunk of solid plastic pretty much with a little disconnector in it. All your important stuff is up here where you've got openings already. So if you want it, do it. If you don't do it. Doesn't matter either way. I like them. I'm going to do it. Whether you do it or not, that's completely up to you. You ain't even my real dad.